Hello, 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 Lola. Hello, Barbie. Let me turn music down a touch. Oh, it's down. There we go. We'll just leave that on for a minute. Give everybody a chance to get in and get settled. And there we go. Okay. All right. Everything seems to be working now. Oh my gosh. Do you know, I chose that moment to, like, my browser was like, no, not today. And I'm trying to close CapCut and it's not working. We just had a conversation on our Celestine call um, about nothing's working because of the solar flares. Apparently, they're like super, super, super big, powerful solar flares right now. And we also have Mercury retrograde. So we're getting a sort of a double whammy here. Hi, Nikki. How are you today? I've got the so just so you know, Nikki, I don't know if you saw my comment, but this video that we've got up right now, I made with you in mind. So I hope you've had a chance to listen to it. Feel free to listen to it every day. There's subliminals layered underneath it, like really potent lucky girl, lucky guy subliminals, abundant subliminals, like money finds me, and I win all the lotteries and everything else. So there's definitely lots in there. I think I put 40 different subliminals, and then I just kept repeating them so that it's 3 hours long. So yeah, there we go. There was something I had on my mind and I can't remember what it was. Oh, the vote. That's right. We got to talk about the vote. Nikki's here. We're going to talk about the vote. We are going to talk about it. Well, let me just pause this, and there we go. All right. We're going to just dive into the politics, get it out of the way, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Tons of things going on. It's been 2 weeks since I was here. God, this camera hates me. My Zoom camera loves me. My phone camera loves me. My laptop camera hates me. So this is an exercise in vanity and ego release. So so Nikki loves the politics conversations. So since she's here, we're going to have a little chit chat now. In Canada, yes, we did have our confidence vote, which is basically a vote on the Ways and Means bill, which was our budget that the Mark Carney and the Liberal government put together, where they're going to bankrupt Canada. That is their plan. They're going to make sure we're taxed into oblivion and make sure we all starve to death. Yay, yay. Oh, Canada. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. The bill had to pass. It had to pass for our own sake. I know that the bill has no benefit to anyone in Canada, but if this bill did not pass, we would be in an election right now. We would have had or see, and I've never heard of it happening, but I did some research and found out that the speaker does have the right and the power to when the House has expressed it does not have confidence in the current government. There's my phone ringing. The speaker can turn to another party and say, you form a government then. And so that was always a possibility. Normally, when that happens, it would be the opposition party, which is the Conservative Party in Canada currently. When we had Stephen Harper and a Conservative government, the official opposition was the NDP. And they had a huge party. They were great. They had a lot of seats, and I think they were in good shape, but now they have 7. So that's how it went for the NDP. So we would be in an election right now. And I know that people are like, Oh, just because it's Christmas, people won't forget to vote. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're all like, "Oh my god, no one will vote at Christmas." No, people will remember to vote, but what you have to remember is that an election requires a lot of people to campaign on the teams, to work for the election because, I think basically about a month before an election, Elections Canada will start setting up their offices. They've got to find all those locations. Da, 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 da. So as much as people won't forget to vote, it would be like exceptionally hard on a campaign team, any team across the country, and also the elections staff. Um, to be able to give up 6 weeks of your life essentially right before Christmas is a lot. So, number 1, that's why a lot of people did not want an election. Number 2, um, most MPs don't have the money right now to have an election. The NDP is broke. They were the ones who made this bill pass because the Bloc, opposed it and the Conservatives opposed it as well. So they have no leader and they have no money as a party. The Conservative Party and the Liberal parties have money, but the individual MPs don't. And the candidates don't. We're in fundraising mode right now because we spent all of our money in April. And so we're even just this week. I'm going to a ultra fancy kind of fundraiser for my MP. It was a very expensive ticket for the average person in Canada right now. And Melissa Lantzman will be there. And so this is a big fundraiser for RMP, and Melissa's come down to help him raise some money. So, of course, when she has a fundraiser, there's probably some of us who will go out to her fundraiser to help support her as well. And the MPs in this area tend to do that. When we had a barbecue fundraiser, just to kind of kick things off in the fundraising element of things. It was at our MP's house. And then, Michelle Ferreri came, Jamil Giovanni came, like a bunch of people came. So everybody tends to support each other. But anyway, yes, I'll be kicking it, drinking cocktails with Melissa Lantzman on Thursday night. So that'll be fun. And we'll see what she has to say. I do have some questions for her, and not about like what the party's doing. Like I totally like I'm already like checked in. I know what's going on. I sat through hours and hours and hours of policy review. So yeah, I know what the party's up to. I've just got more interesting questions for her than just policy and what the party's doing. And another reason that we don't want an election right now is because whatever party would be the one that would actually take down the government, they're going to lose in a huge way. And it right now, it's just a little too close in the numbers to feel comfortable going into an election. So the bill passed, the budget is what it is. It's there, but now we have a lot of opportunities to attack the budget. so can the other MPs, the other parties are going to be attacking the budget and picking it apart and holding it against the Liberal Party. Because we know that nothing's going to happen. Like he's not going to build anything. No houses are going to get built. There'll be no pipelines, nothing. So anyway, that's our political talk for the day. We're not going to spend the whole day talking about Canadian politics, but we have avoided an election now. That would be like the second election in 6 months. Basically, like we are fatigued. We are fatigued. So next year we will probably get an election once the country has had time to see just how horrific it all is. And it's not the cult liberals will never change their minds, but the swing voters will. So we need to get them swung right back to common sense and away from all this emotional spending and things like that. So yeah, and I saw even MPs voting based on emotion. I'm like, give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. I just want to give a little shout out to Anya. She got a membership. When I logged in, I was like, hey, look at that. So thank you. Welcome. Welcome to the cottage core. As we're all I need to come up with a name. I know, what is it? Isn't it like Megxit Mafia or something? That's on Michelle's channel. So I'll come up with a name for my little crew of members. And you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I'm going to wait for more people to get in here because I think there's just a few people on right now. I know it's like a little weird to be back at this. Yeah. So there we go. And Maria, hello. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day. And just keep listening. Just keep listening. Yeah. Wait for an election. Yeah. We need to give this all time to simmer and percolate and get really, really bad for people to wake up and switch their thinking to maybe this isn't working, right? Catch up to the rest of us. So yeah, that's there we go. I'm going to cross that off my list. We talked about that. And so I was away last week because I'm gonna pop this little guy up. I was leading a Remembrance Day service. So that's me at the podium there in my robes and everything. I actually was all bundled up. I had a big scarf and my mittens on and boots and everything under my robes because it was actually quite cold. And it was cold enough that our bagpiper, my son, couldn't actually play outside. So he was up where sort of behind me, there's a window on the exterior wall of the building there. He was up at that window and we opened the window and he played his bagpipes inside. So they stayed in a temperature controlled environment, but we could hear him playing the lament. So that, sometimes you got to figure out, sometimes you've got to figure out solutions to problems. So we had all the wreaths out. This is a small community where this Legion is. I'm the chaplain up there. It's a very small little village. So we don't have like the big massive amounts of the wreaths and everything. I know the one in the town where I live, which is a fairly small town. There's so many wreaths. It takes a long time to get through the wreaths on Remembrance Day. So I think our service was about 45 minutes. So everybody felt that was quite reasonable. And then we went inside for some snacks and refreshments and hanging out with each other. And one of our Silver Cross mothers came. Her name is Anna, really, really lovely lady, and tragically has actually lost both of her sons. Yeah. So a Silver Cross mother is not an honor anybody wants. You do not want to be one. It is basically if your child is killed while serving in the military, you become a Silver Cross mother. You get treated really, really well. Like she has a car that was given to her, and they get invited to a lot of different things. So this is the second Silver Cross mother I've met this year because my son piped at a biker event that was honoring veterans and the fallen. And because our highway through Southern Ontario is called the Highway of Heroes. So all these bikers went from the military base. They drove out to a military museum. And there was a whole day. It was bands, concerts. Like, it was a great day. And it's all these bikers, and they raise money. There was vendors. And then there were organizations talking about what they do to help veterans. And so my son piped for the Silver Cross Mother that day, and he piped for this Silver Cross Mother as well. And the tune that he specifically chose for her is called When the Battle's Over. So that was that. That's what we were up to while I wasn't here last week. So everything got bumped a week. So yeah, that's what went on there. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Usha Vance. Yeah, that whole story has gone away. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that went away because it was really weird. And I know that, in politics and in all this where they're conditioning people, we're all being programmed and conditioned and everything. They will do things to kind of test the public to just see, like, what's the reaction. It's almost like a little market research where they're like, how do people receive this? Are they good with this and everything? I think that was that it was a little bit of like, how will the public receive the idea of Erica Kirk and JD Vance together. I kind of think that's how that went in that direction. And we know that the powers that be do these sorts of things and test people to see where their tolerance level is. I remember back in 2020, we were all in lockdown and all of that. Like where I live, we were in lockdown for like 2 years. And then they started talking about murder hornets were coming to kill us all. They were on their way to Canada. They had their passports ready to kill us all in Canada. And that lasted like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and we never heard about the murder hornets again because I think people were like, "Go away with this. Like this is nonsense. This is not happening." So, I feel like that was one of those things where they're like, "Let's put this out here. Let's see what happens." And, people did not like it one bit, not one bit. Um, and I think a lot of people I think there's a variety of things. First of all, it's creepy and gross. But second of all, I think, the the people are people are kinda funny about Erica Kirk. It's not, I don't think she is being received the way she would like to be received by the public. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. She's, an interesting character. I kinda wanna, like, study her a little bit more, um, because I'm trying to part of me is like, "Yeah, but she's been on the stage so much of her life. She knows how to perform. She knows how to control her emotions, da 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 da." And on the other hand, I'm like, this doesn't feel very authentic. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, like I think I said a couple weeks ago, I'm not even convinced anymore that Charlie Kirk is dead. Like there's just so much craziness in all of this, and there's just too many questions. So yeah, I think the Usha thing's gone away. I think that has gone away. The pictures look very scenic in the snow. Um, yeah, we had so this was on obviously on the 11th of November. On the 9th of November, we had a huge snowstorm. So many remembrance services were canceled. We were supposed to be at another one on the 9th, and it got canceled. Parades were being canceled, right? But we went ahead. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but people showed up, and I tried to keep the service like not too crazy long, and the sun came out. So that helped a lot because when we went inside for coffees and the bar got opened and the sandwiches were brought out, everybody was like, "It was so nice when the sun came out." It was like, yes, yes, it is crazy in Canada right now. Yes, it is. It is absolutely bonkers, and I am shocked at the number of people who just think everything's fine. I guess if you're 75 and you own your home that you bought for $18,000 and it's now worth 1,000,000 and you've got your pension and d, you maybe you think there's nothing wrong, but for many people, there's a lot wrong. And people are begging people like these like older people, like, please talk to your grandchildren. Like ask them what their lived experience is in this country and maybe vote for them instead of for whatever pipe dream you're being sold by a con man. Allegedly, my opinion. He's moved his companies out of Canada into America. He's 90% of his investments are American. He has no interest in benefiting Canada. He's American. That's why we're not getting a deal with Donald Trump, by the way. All right. We got to stop the politics talk. We got to stop the politics talk. So we got Usha. The Bear Cup. Have you seen the Bear Cup? Have we seen the craziness of the Bear Cup? Because, yeah. Okay, so I did order one. Full disclosure. I also got one of those pink Stanleys from Valentine's Day last year. They came out with the pink Stanleys and it had the little heart and it's like sparkly pink. I got one of those too. I do it just to be obnoxious. I don't, but there's a new CEO at Starbucks, and I think this was an absolute stroke of genius. Now, was it fun for the people who were trying to get them and they found out that stores got 2, maybe 3? The store in the town over from me got 3. I know, and I know that because I know a guy who works there, and I saw him on the weekend, and I asked him, like, "How many did your store get?" And he said 3. And he said, "And then we spent the whole day with our phones, and every time we answered the phone, we didn't even talk to the people. We'd just be like, 'We don't have any bear cups,' and then hang up." So it's like they like their phone just went all day. And so the bear cups are a product of the mind of the new CEO of Starbucks, along with a whole other Christmas line. Like they had a whole bunch of things. I think there was like Hello Kitty and there was a bear mug, I think, and stuff like that. So these were like $30, and they're selling for $1,000. They were, or well, I should, maybe I'm gonna rephrase that. They were being listed for $1,000 on like eBay and all these sorts of sites and stuff like that. And kudos to the people who got there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and so they got the 2 cups or 3 cups that were in the store, and then could turn around and sell them, and maybe pay a mortgage, or like make a mortgage payment, or pay for their Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. Um, but yeah, this glass bear cup has now become the hottest influencer status symbol right now. Like it is, and it doesn't even fit in your cup holder. So yes, I've got one on order. It will be here, I don't know, probably before Christmas. Um, and I got it just to be obnoxious. I didn't pay $1,000 for it though. I paid 28 for it. So it'll be here soon enough, and I'll put my morning iced coffee in it. My protein coffee will go in it. So yeah, that's I'm just amazed. Have you, like, what do you think of the bear cup situation? Like, would you line up at 4 o'clock in the morning in the cold to buy a teddy bear cup? But what I found really fun is the number of people who were just like taking their honey bottles, because the honey bottles are the shape of a bear. They were taking those to just to make a point. And there's ones, I think somebody pointed to Dollar Tree, that they have at Christmas particularly. They have bear cups like this with the lid, and you put the straw in it, and so this is what people are doing. They're like, "Look at my bear cup." So yeah, that I thought this was hilarious, and that it parallel to the conversation about food stamps. I'm like, wow. Yeah, we are in an interesting time. An interesting time. So Barbie's saying an election would not benefit. No, they'd be decimated, and we'd all be crying, and we'd never have an election ever again for the rest of our lives. My opinion. My opinion. Yeah, Maria's saying they're cute, right? They're super cute. I can't wait to get mine and sit here and sip from it, and everybody like, oh my god, she got one of the cups. She got one of the cups. The same way when I had my Starbucks limited edition pink Stanley, and I would, people are like, oh, how did you get one? Yeah, yeah. You'd buy the whole Hello Kitty, not this bear, and not, yeah, right? The hello Let me see if I can find the Starbucks Hello Kitty cups, and we'll Starbucks Hello Kitty cup. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see. Oh, there's a whole collection. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Save image. There we go. All right. Hold on 1 second. We're pulling up the Hello Kitty selection. Add to stage. There we go. There's the Hello Kitty collection. Of course I bought one. Yeah. Well, I had the opportunity to get one at the same price, so I made sure I got on the list. The secret lists. I like being on lists. But yeah, There's the Hello Kitty one. The mug is super cute with the little face-shaped mug. That's super cute. And there's like a water bottle and yeah, those are super cute. Super cute. Awesome. So that's the bear cup situation. I don't I certainly wouldn't have paid any more than $30 for it. That's for sure. That is for sure. So there we have that. Did we follow the American election or the New York City election? RIP, rest in peace, NYC. Yeah, that's not going to go well. And the best part was right after the election, he's doing a GoFundMe to raise money to move into his mayor office or something. Does he think that there's no like I don't know. What has every mayor of New York City done before him when they needed to transition to a new administration? I don't know. But apparently he needed $1 million from the people of New York to be able to do that. So the guy who said everything's going to be free and there's going to be government funded everything is now asking the public to, crowdfund for him to be mayor. I don't know. I don't get it, but I was hoping Aspie would be here to tell us her thoughts. I don't think she's very happy about this, but yeah, hopefully she'll pop in. But yeah, raised $1 million in order to open a mayor office or something. I don't know. The whole thing just seemed really weird to me, and I'm shocked that the people who elected him did not realize that this is the end. This is the decimation of New York City. One of the things, and well, that's of course if he actually pulls off everything he said he's going to pull off. So free transit, they've already said no, we're not doing free transit. Um, the um, the rent control. Rent control creates slumlords, and I don't know why people don't understand that. If a landlord is making a surplus of money on rent, then when there's a problem, they have the money to fix it. If if you're in a rent control situation and the landlord's actually already losing money on a property because your rent controls is dictating what they pay in rent, there's no money to fix the toilet, there's no money to fix the fridge, there's no money to fix the roof, you know what I mean? And then we end up with slumlords, and that's we don't want that. It's but New York can I remember New York in the 70s. It was not great. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll be keeping an eye on that situation. I think it'll be a tremendous example for people of why socialism does not work. And I mean, it does work. It's just not, it doesn't work if you want a prosperous society and you want a successful society. So, there's that. There is that. Oh, yes. So what Lola is referring to is that our prime minister is an elected MP, and MPs are required to have a constituency office. Every MP has one, and that's where you, as a resident or citizen of Canada, can go to their office and get help with things like your taxes. When we deal with Canada Revenue Service, that is our taxation department. And if you're struggling and you need help filing your taxes, you go to your MP's office. If you need help with immigration issues, if you need help with your passport, all these things, you go to your MP's office. Is your MP there? No. But they have staff there, nonpartisan staff. They'll give you nonpartisan service, and they'll help you with whatever it is that you need. And if you actually want to have a meeting with your MP, anything like that, they'll help you arrange it. So I don't have to do that because I'm on my MP's team. If I want to talk to my MP, I'll send his assistant a text. It's like, can you have him call me? So what Lola is referring to is the fact that Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada currently, and an elected MP, the only reason he's Prime Minister is because within the parliamentary system, he is has been elected by the party to be the leader of the party, and he has not opened a constituency office. Barbara Ball, who was the conservative candidate when he was running for his seat, um, Barbara Ball's been checking on this all the time. I think she probably goes to this location every week, and she found out that they did actually rent some office space, but there's no one there. There's no signage. It's literally an address, kind of like the Brookfield address in Barbados or Bahamas or wherever it is, above the bike shop, where he is now funneling his money through a tax-free country. So, and that's not allegedly. We know that for a fact. Yay. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. There we are. So Maria's saying she knows nothing about the NYC election. Yeah, they elected the most communist, socialist guy they possibly could because young people want free stuff without having to work for it. So they're going to find out real fast that the tax base is going to exit NYC. So if I'm running a big business and I'm part of the tax base, I'm in like industry, I'm going to pull my company out of New York, like many people are, because the taxes will be just paying for people to be nothing, to be near dwells, and not in that rich way. So yeah, there we go. What is it? What are we laughing at? Is that bicycles? I can't see. Hang on. Let me go here. Oh, it's bicycles. There we go. I don't know what that was. What's the bicycles, Lola? I don't know what's going on here. I did not know. Do not know. Okay. So that was like the weirdest election I have witnessed. So hopefully Aspie, if she'll watch the replay, I'm sure she'll pop in. If she doesn't pop into the chat. But I want to know her thoughts on the the bike shop. Oh yeah. Now I know. See, that's how fast things fall out of my head. As I mentioned a bike shop. Yes. The bike shop. Where was that? Bahamas? Was it Bahamas? I can't remember. Yeah, it's bonkers right now. But have you been watching what's been going on in Mexico? Gen Z has stormed the castle. Go look for videos and pictures of Mexico, the uprising. It's like these people have had enough. I haven't really paid too much attention to Mexico. Let's be honest. I don't really pay that much attention. I haven't been to Mexico since I was a teenager, so it's not high on my radar. But I did not realize that their president, I believe it's a president. She's a hardcore lefty, and these people are sick of the corruption, like young people. And I'm looking at these like Mexican people, and I'm like, yeah, this is what we need here in Canada. These people are not they're not messing around. These young people, they see the writing on the wall and they're like, no, they're sick of the corruption. They're sick of their government screwing them over, basically. So yeah, they're uprising violently. I saw videos of them attacking the police. It was kind of wild. Yeah, bonkers everywhere right now. It's bonkers, and this is why I stay home a lot. Yeah, no interest in that. Yeah, Mark Carney has no interest in Canada. He's on his way to being a billionaire. As prime minister, he makes $406,000 a year. What's his interest? It's not the money. It's not the role. He's barely Canadian. His residency is going to be in America. That's where he probably pays his taxes, is in America. Just because you own a house here doesn't mean you're a resident. Just because you're a citizen doesn't mean you're a resident. I have 3 citizenships. I'm only a resident of one country where I pay my taxes, which is Canada. So, yeah, that's our political talk for the day. I don't know. We always see that this is the thing. When you Canadians gather, this is the topic. Bermuda, it's in Bermuda. Like, yeah, where all of Canada's money goes to disappear because he is funneling it to himself. The Bear Cup. Yeah. That it is amazing. But this guy who's the CEO, the new CEO of Starbucks, I mean, what a genius. Everybody has the word Starbucks in their mouth right now. Everybody wants a Starbucks. Everybody's going to Starbucks to try to find these cups. So, yeah, there we go. Be back in a little bit. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'll be here for about probably at least another hour. We got a lot to cover today. We have a lot to cover. I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. How are we doing on here? If you're here and you're lurking, say hi. Say hi in the comments. We're friendly. We're a friendly bunch. We are a friendly bunch. I made a big list because it's been 2 weeks since I've been here. I got a whole lot of stuff on my mind. On my mind. And I want to catch up. Um So Lola's saying her boyfriend talks to a bunch of retired guys at Timmy's every morning. That's Tim Hortons for anybody who's outside of Canada and doesn't know what Timmy's is. One guy said he was a liberal, and my boyfriend said, "Well, on that bombshell, I'm going home." And he left. Yeah. Yeah, actually, we just had this conversation in the Celestine call about like values, right? Like, how do we be around people who don't share the same values? And I don't mean, this is part of it is like there's values like, oh, I value hard work, right? Or I value honesty. There's things like that. But there's a whole group of people who wanted a whole other group of people dead. So it's like, how do we exist with those people? I don't know. I think it's a personal decision for everybody. But yeah, yeah. First of all, I wouldn't go to Tim Hortons. A little bit of a boycott there for myself. And it's hard because I do love ice caps. And but I'm not going there. I know everybody's saying we need to shop Canadian, buy Canadian, and I'm like, hire Canadian. I go to companies that hire locals, that hire Canadian people and are not hiring government funded temporary foreign workers. They're everywhere, but I'm making a choice as much as I can to take my hard earned money to places that are hiring Canadians who are paying their mortgages here all on their own. So yeah, it's a thing, and apparently they've lost like 50,000 of the temporary foreign workers. So yeah, yeah, there we go, and they all work at Tim Hortons. Did I talk about Canada Post? No? Did something happen? Did something happen? Because Canada Post, they went back. And then they're doing rotating strikes, I think. Like this is the thing. I haven't paid attention. I mailed all my mail. Everything I needed to get out got out, except for your parcel. And then they're doing rotating strikes. That's right. So they're just picking one city. They don't deliver mail for a few days, then they move to another city. They don't deliver mail those few days, and so everything's kind of back to normal. I think the union betrayed the workers, but the unions are no longer about the workers. Unions are about themselves now, unfortunately. So yeah, we have that. Let's say to buy non-Canadian shop. Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, if you bought orange juice in the last little while, fun fact, it was not grown or made in Canada. Right? But I go to Costco where they employ Canadian people. And I don't care what accent you have. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care where you came from. As long as you're here legally. I'm an immigrant. That's why I have multiple citizenships. So I'm not anti-immigration and I'm not anti-immigrant, but I am against the complete destruction of our country in this way. That I'm against. And it's because these are not people who are immigrating. They've just been brought here to work cheap because the government is funding. Oh, here's some fun facts for you. Okay, thanks to Moose on the Loose for pointing all of this out. Tim Hortons is owned by a company, I believe, called RBI. And that company is managed by Brookfield Asset Management. Tim Hortons gets wages for temporary workers subsidized by the government. So if you own a Tim Hortons, you're not actually having to pay a full hourly wage to people. The government's doing that for you. Our prime minister, do you see what I'm saying? The Mark Carney, the prime minister, is getting staff paid for by his government. So that his companies don't have to pay these people the full wage. This is why I get angry. This is why I get angry. Yeah. Where Nikki's saying that she wore her American shirt. I actually have one in my Amazon cart. That's an American shirt. It's super cute. It's navy blue, which we know is my color. And yeah, I want to get it. I'll maybe order it for Christmas or something. I maybe order it for Christmas. Oh, Canada Post said that they are beyond repair, laying off about 50% of people. Yeah. Well, their union has brought it to this. And of course, there's no jobs because our government is making it that companies have to shut down. So yeah, we weren't going to talk about politics this much today. Yeah, the lab grown meat. Gross. Gross. Oh, there we are. Add me on Facebook. You can chitty chat. You can DM me, everything there. There we go. Yeah, we'll remember that it was across North America. The bear cups were across North America. So if you were in Florida, you weren't standing in the cold. You were maybe standing in the cool. But yeah, if you live in like northern Alberta, no. You just order one online. I bring her back. Who are we bringing back? Well, I've lost all track of the conversation. Who are we bringing back? Okay, but hold on. What's going on, Lola? Okay, my colleague was talking to me about yes. Like, this is a massive step backwards. A lot of like any conservative or middle ground leaning companies, they're going to pull out of New York City and go somewhere else. They're going to go to red states where they don't have to deal with this kind of thing. I buy it in furry. What? What does that mean? Y'all got to like give me full sentences with context because I don't know what. All right, we're gonna need some more information on that. Tell me more about that. Lola's saying, I live where the highest unemployment is. I live in the greenhouse capital. Why do we ship in 30K workers when we should? Yeah. Right? Pay Canadians. If we're going to supplement anybody's salary, why should it not be Canadians? Why are we bringing in like teenagers today can't get jobs at Tim Hortons? And when they do, as we know, as we found out in Picton, Ontario, which is like down east of me, one of the 17-year-old girl, the manager of that store was trying to convince her to marry her brother so he could come to Canada or stay in Canada, one or the other. Like this is what's going on. Yeah. Ontario workers. Aspie, yay! We were talking about you, but like not in a saying we wish you were here. That we wish you were here. But hang on one second first. All right, I'm going to talk about my Yule call. Okay, so it is taking place on December 18th. Let's the link to get on my mailing list is right there. So it's in that last comment right under Aspie's comment. And Jim. And so you want to click that link, get that link and get on my mailing list. The invitation to join the Yule celebration at the lowest price possible was sent out to my mailing list yesterday. Yes, I'm doing an infomercial right now. Just bear with me. And so it's going to go out again on Friday and then out again on Monday. At midnight on Monday, the price goes up. So if you want to join my Yule celebration, get on the waiting list, and you do that by joining my mailing list. It's my VIP list. And then on Friday, you'll get the email with the link to sign up at the lowest price it's ever going to be. So there you go. And it will be on December 18th. I'm going to run it at 2 times if we need to. I've offered it at 2 times because I know that our people overseas, they need me to be live in the afternoon. And then my North American friends need me live in the evening, I have no problem running it twice. But just be aware that if like only one person signs up for one slot, then I'm going to move you to the other slot. So we're not having to run this for one person. I've done that. It doesn't work because unfortunately the temptation to treat it like a conversation is there, and then I literally have to tell people stop talking. So because I'm busy talking and I'm the chatterbox in the group. So anyway, there's the link to get on my mailing list, and you will get the link on Friday. It's already gone out yesterday. So and fun fact, Lola was the first person to sign up. So there we go. She got in there the second it was available. And so there we are. Okay. So Jim is saying an Aspie. Just hang on one second. Order to, yeah, see, Jim is here, always here with the dad jokes. Always here with the dad jokes. And you know what? I'll show you. Here is, hold on one second. There's the hedgehog. Okay, you can see. This is where I left off in the summer when I was like driving around in an RV. We call it the tour bus for bagpipe competitions. So I just need to do his little face. So that's, I'm going to get that done this week. He's in my basket of things to complete this week because I'm really, really good at doing like this and having these sorts of things ready to go. But then like actually finishing them, I have to be very disciplined with myself. Aspie, we want to know your thoughts on the NYC election. That's what we were talking about, because I did actually talk about the election and what the heck, why did this guy get elected? And then the $1 million that he had to raise, or felt he had to raise, or people felt like they crowdfunded so that he can move into his mayor's office, I think is the impression that I got. So yeah, good times. Good times. There we are, back into here. It does. It looks like the start of a Christmas pudding. And for anybody who's not British, who doesn't know what a Christmas pudding looks like, we'll pull up an image. Let me find a good one. Oh, there's a nice one. Hopefully it is. Oh, I hate that like things on Google these days are not, they're not like JPEGs anymore, so they don't work on my, there we are. Okay, I'm going to pop up an image here so you can see it. Well, Aspie tells us. All right, that's a Christmas pudding. This is what I grew up like there's like Christmas pudding and then there's plum duff. And I don't know, I think maybe plum duff might be specifically a Scottish thing. I'm not sure. But I kind of grew up with this. Not quite looking quite like this, but yes, the little hedgehog at the moment looks like a Christmas pudding. And something I want to do is, you know, the Terry's chocolate oranges, there's patterns to knit the covers for them. And there's a Christmas pudding one that I want to make. So we'll do that. Yes, he will be adorable. When I finally get him done, I'll do it this week. I'm working on, see, I've got stacks of unfinished projects here, little ready to be stuffed. So they are ready to go. So Aspie's saying she's dreading the new mayor. It was the young college educated who voted for him in droves. To me, he's a snake oil salesman, worried we in NYC. Yeah. And I understand that he is exceptionally wealthy, and his wife as well. I don't know why these wealthy people are socialists. I don't get it. I always thought like a socialist doesn't like money and likes to be poor. And so I'm like, why is it that all these billionaires are pushing the socialist agenda? I don't get it. Probably going to be shadow banned for talking about this. So Aspie's saying that his family is very rich. Yeah. He did not come from poverty and fight his way up. That makes a capitalist. That makes a conservative, you know? But he yeah, it's just so bizarre to me because I'm like, why did he have to crowdfund $1 million? I don't know. I don't know, but we're praying for you, Aspie. We're absolutely praying for you because this is, yeah, I think you're going to be living in a third world country. Unfortunately, I feel like I was actually thinking about, like, New York City next year for, like, in December to kinda do have a New York City Christmas, and I'm kinda like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Might not be the safest, most pleasant place to be a year from now. Although, who knows? Things happen. There could be an uprising. It could be very, very uncomfortable for him to be mayor, and he ends up leaving. So, yeah, there we go. I'm totally a socialist if being the most poor wins. Yeah, no. No, I kinda get the feeling that the socialists are more like, "I'm poor and you better give me all your money." So, yeah. I sort of get the impression that socialism is, "I'm poor, I don't wanna be poor, so I want all of your money so you can be poor and I'm not poor anymore." It's not a, "We'll all support each other" kind of thing. But I do live in a semi-socialist country. Actually, most countries are semi-socialist. They have socialist elements to them. If you have a bus service in your city, that's a socialist concept. It's a socialist thing. Same with libraries are socialist, public schools are socialist, and everything else. But when it's completely socialist, it all goes sideways. There's no such thing as a prosperous socialist country. We're not. We I had no plan to go in this direction today, by the way. Absolutely no plan. Yeah, I would not doubt that, and I don't get it. Why is it rich people want everyone to be more poor than they already are? I don't understand that. My advice, don't come for 4 years. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Who was he running against? Like, what were the other options that he was there a lot? Like, the last mayoral election we had in Toronto, there was, like, 100 candidates of every ilk, and, some of them got 3 votes. Like, their mom voted for them, their wife and their kids, you know? So yeah, yuck, oh, oh, I love Terry's chocolate oranges. Send me yours. I'll eat them for you. I love them. The chocolate bars, everything. There's nothing I love more than chocolate and orange as a flavor combination. I even have in Glasgow, in the mall, there's, like, a tea place. Similar if you're in Canada, it's similar to David's Tea, that same kind of concept where you can buy, different amounts of tea and things like that, all these different fun and festive teas. And they had hot chocolate, and they had a chocolate orange hot chocolate. That came home in my suitcase. And, there's an ice cream shop in Yorkville, on Yorkville Avenue, that has a chocolate orange ice cream. That's what I order every time I'm there. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yums. Yum, yums. He ran against Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Saliwa. Is that how you say his name? So Andrew Cuomo, that's like his brother was mayor once, wasn't he? Or was he mayor or senator or governor? I know the Cuomos have been a New York institution for a long time because the rich want to be more rich, ringing the norm. Yeah. And it's like, it's such a weird, like when we talk about values, like this is it right here. Like, why, at what point does anybody have enough money? Let's ask J.K. Rowling. I think she knew the moment she had enough money that she did not ever have to make anybody else give up anything or sacrifice anything for her. And then she turned around and started giving. So I don't, at what point do these billionaires need another $1 billion? For what? You can't even spend it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you can't even spend that kind of money. Like you got to buy stupid stuff like yachts and planes and just ridiculous stuff that has no benefit in the world at all. And I'm not anti-capitalist at all. I'm a hardcore capitalist. But I'm like, at what point do you accept? Like, 3 billion is enough. I'll never need to work. I'll never need to figure out money ever again for the rest of my life. And my great grandchildren will still be wealthy like that. At what point do we? I'm not saying taking money from anybody else. I'm absolutely not. But I'm just saying, at what point do you say, I have enough money? I'll be okay. It's okay. I'm fluent in typo. Yeah, they get government kickbacks. Are you talking about Tim Hortons? Yeah, this is not at all how I thought we were going to go today. But here we are. Jim, I'll take all your chocolate oranges off your hands. 100%. And you know, they have mint ones here. Do they have mint ones in the UK? And I think there's like hazelnut something. I don't know, salted caramel. I don't, the too many flavors. I'm like, no, we just needed one chocolate orange. That was it. The other thing that captured my attention in the last couple of weeks, we're not doing sprints today, by the way. I did have music lined up and everything, but we're not, we're just going to chitty chat. Influencer sleeves. That's a term I had never heard. Why does, see, I lean back and I'm like, see, this takes about 10 years off. This is my age. Influencer sleeves. I heard this the other day and I was like, oh my gosh. It's a thing. I never really like clocked it that it was about being an influencer. I thought it was just like the style, the sleeves. All the influencers, when they do stuff, they're like, their sleeves are pointing down. Why do influencers do everything with their sleeves covering their whole hand? Have you noticed this? Like, I've noticed it. I just never connected it to, oh, this is an influencer thing. I never noticed it before. And then I actually Googled influencer sleeves and saw a whole bunch of videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a thing. It is absolutely a thing. And even to the extent that I watched a girl washing her 4,000 makeup sponges and with her influencer sleeves. So they're in the bath and she's having to do this with her like, and so her sleeves are now soaked for the sake of looking like an influencer. I don't know, but have you noticed that? Because I am this one I find just yeah. And if you, I know now you're going to start to clock it everywhere because where is that hide current comment? There we go. Yeah, I think if you haven't kind of clocked it, I think you're gonna. So Maria's saying they were in fashion 20 years ago, a ski wear trend. Interesting. I haven't skied in a very long time, so I don't know what the skiing fashion is. But 20 years ago, the bag, like I like a nice baggy sweater, a nice bag. I like to be cozy. But I also need my hands. I can't be doing everything with like my little hands poking out at things. I had no idea this was skiing fashion. Interesting. Interesting. Barbie saying her niece graduated from high school in June and yeah, and has been looking for a job ever since. So this is my advice to young people today. As someone who I turned 19 in 1990. And I don't know if there's anybody here old enough to remember what happened in the early 90s in Canada. We had a massive, massive recession. And everybody was getting laid off left and right. It was, if you had a job, you didn't dare leave that job. You hugged your boss every single day. You brought him treats. Like you did not want to lose a job, no matter how bad that job was, because there were no jobs. And in the 90s, I probably interviewed at thousands of places and applied to thousands of places. And the one that pissed me off the most was Young Drivers of Canada. They're a good company, but this particular office in my community, they were looking for someone to work there. I applied. They brought me in for an interview. They made me do an IQ test. like such an old-fashioned, antiquated way of hiring somebody, make them do an IQ test. Don't concern yourself as whether they're gonna be a good fit, personality-wise or anything else. Anybody can be trained. Anyone can learn anything. Um, so when hiring, you kinda have to look at, like, is this person gonna be a good fit with our company? Anyway, so they call me to come back for a second interview, and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, like, I'm so much closer. I might get this job. Holy smokes!" Because getting a second interview, that was not happening anywhere. And, they've actually and this I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to take the bus, multiple buses to get there, and so that they could tell me that I scored too high on the IQ test and that they couldn't hire me. Yeah. Good times. Good times. I'm like, "Okay, so hire someone dumb," right? Like that, like, why would you not? Because yeah, and I think what it was is the manager of the place was like, "She'll be running the place within 3 weeks. We can't have her here," which is usually what happens, and that's usually why I've been hired places is they're like, "Oh, yeah, you're great. You're gonna be running this place. I can go home." That's how I usually get hired for jobs. But this place, and I was really annoyed because I had spent all that time on the bus paying multiple bus fares both ways when I didn't have any money to spend on this, right? So yeah, if you're an employer, please don't do that to people. Just call them and say, "We're not hiring you." Okay? That's it. That you don't make them commute to get to you. But I hope she finds a job. Oh yeah, and the advice I'm getting, that's right. I was getting back to my advice. Lost my train of thought there. I have an Alani here. The Christmas Alanis are in Coburg or in not Coburg, Costco these days. So I grabbed a couple cases. They're very yummy, the Christmas ones. I'm all about the Christmas drinks. So my advice is if you can't find work, you have to make work. So Barbie, your niece has to figure out how to start a business. And you can start a business for free. You go on Facebook, make a business page, go to Canva, make yourself some graphics, do some branding, hire somebody, trade with somebody, barter with somebody, whatever it is to get your graphics and your branding done. Figure out what your business is, what you do, and then start a business, cash business, get right out of the gate cash business. Just to get your feet on the ground. And I was just talking to a guy who's in the same boat where he would really like to have a better job. And, fortunately, he does have a job, but he wants a better life for himself. And I said, go find out what community has the highest average age. That's the community you want to target and make your flyers and hit the mailboxes and do things like driving old people to their appointments, picking up their groceries. If they're on vacation or in the hospital, anything else like that, go by their houses, check that, everything's fine, change the lights on and off around the house, collect their mail, things like that. That is going to be a big, big opportunity as our population is aging and there's no one to help these people. Right? Like my father-in-law is almost 90, is not doing well. As we know, this story started in the middle of August. I believe it was August 10th or 11th. And now we're in November and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we've hired people to help him to just do the things because it requires multiple people 24 hours a day to take care of him at home. And so we've hired people to do that. So even just something as simple as a nighttime companion for elderly people to just get them their dinner, clean their kitchen, toss their laundry in, make sure they're okay. And then the girl that we have working for us, she makes sure that my father-in-law gets tucked in bed. And she's so sweet. She gives him a kiss on the forehead and then quietly lets herself out of the house. Like, I don't know. She likes him way more than I ever did. So good. I'm glad they're a good match. They're a good match. And they both like to eat. So they sit there eating, just enjoying eating and watching TV and she does his laundry and cleans up and stuff like that. So those are job opportunities, but you gotta have some hustle. You've got to start your own thing and get out there and do that and get get that cash right in your pocket. So that's my advice to Barbie's niece and anybody else who's looking for a job right now and is seeing like just how hard it is. And then you can eventually like register your company if it takes off booming and everything. You might have staff, everything else, but for the moment, do it that way. Absolutely. Yeah. Communism is the word of the day. Is the word of the day. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a really good question, Nikki. Why are all cities liberal with Marxists in them? Like that's a really good I'm going to do some research on that. What was my God, I'm almost embarrassed. The last time I did an IQ test, I scored about 140. So, I don't know how to work the TV. Okay. So don't for a second think that makes me smarter than anybody else. But yeah, I tend to score quite high on those ever since I was a kid. I was put in the gifted program at school, all through school, in elementary school and into high school as well. So yeah, my advice to anybody, if you go to a company and they make you do an IQ test, don't do well. Don't do your best. You want to be mediocre because then you're not a threat to anybody else who works there. So yeah, that's that. You may have noticed that on my posts recently, I've been adding a series of numbers. And people are like, are these the lottery numbers? I wish. I wish. They are called Grabavoy codes. And this is like a Russian guy. He thank you. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how to work the TV. I'm like a highly functioning toddler at the best of times. Um and Yeah. Like life is being we just had this whole conversation on my Celestine call not that long ago, like earlier today. That like being human is really hard. It's really hard. So yeah, I'm not I'm really good at pattern recognition, problem solving, things like that. But again, you know, like I'm really good at building IKEA furniture, but I can't work I cannot figure out the TV at all. Not at all. But thank you. And I wondered what they were. You wondered what was? What was I talking about that you wondered what it was? Oh, the Grabavoy codes. That's right. Okay. So I forgot what we were talking about there. Anyway, so he's this Russian guy. Um he is seen in the mainstream as being absolutely batshit bonkers, which means he's probably right on the money. He's probably got some real truths he's putting out there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on him to see like who he is. I know he got sent to prison, and he's very, very like into the energy of the universe and things like that. And so he's come up with all of these codes that are a series of numbers that are meant to kind of like be like hacking the universe, like, cheat codes to the universe and things like that. And I've kind of been fascinated with them because I'm really into numerology. And so I've sort of been fascinated with this for a number of years. And I thought, you know what? I should just try using them. Like, why am I sitting staring at this when I could actually start incorporating them? So I've got a whole bunch of these codes that I've started putting into my posts and into the descriptions of my videos and things like that. It's just an experiment to see what happens. So they're meant to be calling in abundance. They're meant to be about manifestation, higher self, things like that. What's interesting is that the first day I started using them, I had a bunch of people booking appointments with me. So I was like, oh, that worked quickly. That worked pretty quickly. So yeah, by all means, copy them from my posts and pop them into your own stuff and use them and see. You can also Google Grabavoy codes. ChatGPT will give you codes. There's books on the Grabavoy codes. all sorts of things. But I just thought it's going to be a fun little experiment I'm going to conduct to the end of the year and see what happens. And I'm kind of keeping track of what's coming in each day, like in terms of how many emails am I getting from people? How many people are reaching out to ask questions? How many people want to book appointments with me? And yes, you can. If you want a tarot reading or a coaching session, reach out. We can get that booked for you. I'm booking into next week now. But absolutely reach out to chat about whatever's on your mind. But I just thought it's a fun experiment to see, do they actually work and what will actually happen by using them. I see people will take their cup and like write the manifestation number on their cup, basically infusing it into their water or whatever they're drinking. I've seen them like on journals, t-shirts, like these numbers, we're seeing them everywhere. So if you ever see a number like that, you might be like, oh, that's a Grabavoy code. That's a Grabavoy code. And then, so what I did was I actually put a bunch of them into Chat GPT and asked GPT to create sigils for me. And this is what it came up with for 10 codes that I fed into GPT. And a sigil is basically a symbol that's made up of the elements of whatever word or number combinations you're looking into. Sorry, my nose is really bothering me right now. I'm got a little bit of a cold or allergies or something. And so these are the symbols it gave me. So what you would do with a sigil, now we're into the spiritual elements of things, is you would write them on whatever you want the energy infused into. So if you have like a success sigil, you might write it on an exam that you're writing, or you might write it on an essay that you're writing, and then just draw the little symbol in the corner to kind of put that energy into it. It's sort of like anybody who is into Reiki, it's that same kind of thing, like putting the energy into things. Like I would write Reiki symbols on a fish tank, or, leave them near where my dog sleeps or something. So these symbols are meant to carry the energetic elements, there we go, of the number codes. And so you could go to ChatGPT and say, I want to improve my heart health. What is give me a Grabavoy code for that. And it'll give you codes, and then you could ask it for a sigil. You can put these in your wallet. You can put them anywhere you want and use them in any way you want, and just experiment and see what happens. And see what happens. There you go. I just thought it would be kind of fun to play with it and track my results. And who knows? Who knows what might happen? Gonna play with it to the end of the year, and then I'll let you know. Yes, there's your sigils. There's your symbols. I don't even got men and women and X and a money sign. Yeah, you want a money sign in there. And star and a little smoochy woo. And a little smoochy woo. There we go. So that's the Grabavoy codes, in case anybody has been seeing them. And you know what? I'll pop them up here in case you want to take a screenshot. Yeah. Yeah. There's a great idea. Okay, if you want the codes, take a screenshot now, or a picture of them or whatever, and then you can just draw them out yourself. And so I'll leave that there for another second or two. And then Maria's saying might include a code betwixt. Oh, you got that word in there, betwixt. I haven't said betwixt since last week. Betwixt is such a great word. And the symbols are a lovely idea for jewelry and pendants too. See, you could make your own sigil and get your own custom piece of jewelry made, earrings or a bracelet or a charm or anything like that. So yeah, betwixt. Obviously, that's a thing between me and Maria, is the word betwixt. So you win. You win today. You win today. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so I'm going to take this down. And I'm going to, yeah, have we had enough of the influencer sleeves? I don't know. Yeah, I know people are gonna start tagging me in videos where there's influencer sleeves just because, just because for everybody who has popped in, um, since the last time I had this up, just be aware, we've got our Yule celebration call coming up. Let me pop the link. So what you wanna do is get signed up on my VIP list. I'll pop it in right now. Paste. There we go. So that's the link to my VIP list. It went out on Monday to my VIP list. It's going to go out again on Friday, and it's going to go out again on next Monday. So in 6 days, the invitation to join our Yule celebration on December 18th. The lowest price is going to my mailing list. So once it goes out to the public, it's going to be at a higher price. Okay. So there you go. It's currently sitting at $22. It's not an expensive thing. And that's Canadian dollars. So for people overseas, like I think our dollar is like 1 pound is 50 cents here or something. So it's like literally half that, I think. I think that's where we're at because the Canadian dollar is pretty weak. Okay. So we're going to take this down. And I read the craziest book. I'm just watching. There's an Amazon driver outside my house. I wonder what he's bringing me. So I read this book. This is the most bonkers book I think I may have ever read in my life, and I read John Mars. I highly recommend it so that you can talk to me about it, because this left me like, what the heck was this book about? And so basically it starts off, it's a woman racing to her sister's hospital room where she's been hit by a car and has been taken to the hospital and she's in a coma. The sister is an author and she is writing a book, and her literary agent, I guess, is calls the sister who raced to the hospital to say, we need this book. The deadline is looming. We need this book. And the book ends up being this horrific horror story kind of thing and it's the Muse has written the book, and the Muse wants the author to play out the things it tells them to do in the book. I'll leave it at that. But it was a crazy story, and it like at the end I was just like, and it's this woman on Instagram, Sydney, and she's a book influencer, and she was the one who recommended it, and she literally was like, what did I just read? Right? So please go read this book so we can talk about it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm reading another book right now called The Christmas Murder Game, I think it's called. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Oh, there it is, right there. The Christmas Murder Game. That, and I've just started it. I think I just read one chapter. But it's kind of interesting. I thought it looked Christmassy, gothic, kind of goth, murder mystery thriller Christmas. I'm down with that. So that's what I'm currently reading. And then, of course, as I've talked about, my neighbor's getting a gift of an Advent book. So to read a chapter a day, and then there's little treats in her for every single day, in there for her for every single day. So there's like 25 little parcels in with the book and a mug and everything else. So yeah, that's where we're reading right now. But yeah, that An Evil Premise. Please read it. Please read it so we can talk about it, because that yeah, that was a little bit cray-cray. But this one's kind of fun. It's a girl. She lives in the city. It's Christmas, and her aunt has died. Her mother died when she was young. Her aunt basically took her in to this big mansion estate kind of thing. And And then this girl in the city, she gets a letter from her aunt, and it starts with basically, "If you're reading this, I'm dead. And I'm leaving the house to you. I know you don't want this, but I need you to come and solve this mystery." So she heads up to the countryside, to the estate where her cousins are, and so the game begins. But I haven't got that far into it. Like I said, I'm only about a chapter and a couple pages in. So yeah, it sounds like a neat book. Lola's saying you have the Christmas book on hold. Do you have this Christmas book on hold? Do you have this one? That would be kind of wild if this book was on hold, because I'll just send it to you. I'll just send it to you. I'm not gonna gatekeep or anything. I'll just share it with you. Oh, you've got that one? Well, I can send it to you as an EPUB, and it's probably on audio as well. You told me to get, yeah. See, Lola's so good. I'm like, "Here, read this." And she's like, "Okay." So yeah, okay. If you want it as an EPUB, I'll send it to you, or we'll see if we can find an audio of it, and you can figure that one out, because I know you like to listen to audio while you do other stuff. So yeah, there we go. There we go. It is a quiet day today, though I've been jibber jabbering nonstop. Still a little stuffed up. Oh, now I know why I'm stuffed up. I had to go to the dentist yesterday, so I had to get a filling, like, at the front, but at the back, ugh. Whew. Yeah, I don't like the dentist at all. And so he literally, like, pulled up my lip and squeezed it as tight as he could to distract me from the fact he was putting a needle in my face. And so I got a filling, and I remember coming home and my nose was frozen from the freezing. Not just my lips and my teeth and everything else, but my actual nose. I couldn't feel my nose. So now I know. Now I'm thinking, oh, that must be why I'm feeling a little stuffed up right now. And you started cackle because someone told you to. Was that me? Was it me who told you to? That cackle was a great story. Um, that It did not end the way I thought it would end. It actually ended better than I thought it would. One of the nice thing about the book Cackle, it did not jump the shark. It did not take the easy way out at the end. I think it had a perfect ending, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. But it didn't jump the shark, because it would be so easy with these sorts of books to um and then they lived happily ever after. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I quite enjoyed that book, and I didn't think I would so much, but I quite loved it. Yeah, the needles at dentists, that's why they don't let you see them. That's why they, like, cover your face and then come in with the needle. Whereas I'm like, "Okay, no, please don't ambush me, because I have CPTSD, and I don't wanna spend the rest of the week feeling like I'm under attack." But yeah, I didn't feel the needle. He even asked me afterwards. He's like, "Did you feel the needle?" I said, "No, actually, I didn't." And so apparently he's very skilled at giving these needles that people don't feel them quite as much. So I don't know. Maybe that's why he's such a successful dentist with such a successful practice. So there's Barbie saying she's heard of the codes. Yeah. Go to Chat GPT or just Google, get a bunch of codes and start using them and just see what happens. Like, what does anybody have to lose? To just play a little bit in the spiritual realm, play a little bit with the universe. Why not? Spirit and the universe, they love having a good time. They love party games. So I would say try it out. Write it on your water. Write it down and put it in your wallet. Clean out your wallet first. Have a nice, neat, tidy wallet where the money looks nice and all your cards are organized and everything. And then write them down and put them in your wallet. You can put them in your shoes. You can carry them anywhere you want. Think of it in, like Reiki energy or a spell jar or anything like that, that you would just carry it with you and write them on everything. Like I said, I've been putting them in my posts just to see, like, what happens. And sure enough, day one, within an hour of post going up, I had someone in my inbox, "Can I book an appointment with you?" So there we go. There we go. I was like, "Woo, yeah." I like instant success, right? Spem successus ali in Latin, and that means success nourishes hope. So when we get an instant reaction to something, it's like, oh, great, thank you for the validation. So there we are. There we are. Okay. Keep an eye out for my December tarot offers. I have some end of year offers on deck that I'll be popping out there. Look for them in your emails. Um, look for them on my posts on my Facebook and everything else. I have some really, really great spreads that we use at this time of year to kind of look at the energy of this year and look at the energy of next year to see what kind of happened and then what is coming up for you. So, and remember, we don't look at like specific, like I don't pull cards and it says, oh, it tells me you're starting a new business. No, the cards look at energy. So it examines the energy around you, and sort of what energy is coming up for you. I had somebody recently get kind of annoyed that like the thing they wanted to know about I wasn't bringing up in the reading, and I'm like, well, I didn't know you wanted to talk about that. Maybe perhaps when you had the opportunity to tell me, you should have. And I always ask people, like, just tell me, like, what direction do you want to go in? Do you want to talk about family, business, career, like health, like what, and I don't need to know the whole situation. Just like give me like what area of your life are we looking at? And so when people say, well, just a general reading, but then they get on the call with me and they're like, why are you not talking about my business? And I'm like, because I didn't know that's what you wanted to talk about. So when I'm pulling the cards, when I'm shuffling and pulling the cards and tapping in and everything else, I will ask, what does, let's just say Barbie, what does Barbie need to know about her business? And we direct it a little bit in that direction. So, yeah, that just, anyway, just be aware of that when you're booking a tarot reading. Um, so I've got some spreads coming up in December. I'll be posting about them that are very specific to wrapping up the year, and going into the new year. So keep an eye out for that. And look at the universe. Yeah. Well, because they're not teaching anything. They don't, even in the high schools and stuff, they don't really, I don't know. Write it on the water. Oh, no, like take a pen, a Sharpie or something, and then just write the number on your glass or on your cup. Write it on your phone. If you use your phone to make money, you could even write it on a piece of paper and put it inside the case of your phone if you don't want to write it on the case or on your actual phone. And so there's what Lola's talking about is the Grabavoy numbers. So you can infuse your water as you're drinking it with the energy of those codes. This is my jam. This is the stuff I love, where I'm like, let's play in this realm and see what happens. So, yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can use these codes. Write it on your notebooks, journal it, meditate on them. You can write them in the air with your finger. There's all kinds of things you can do with them. So, yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Okay, I've talked about everything that I had on my list today. Yes, I did have a little list of all the topics I wanted to chat about. At the weekend, we went to a medieval market. How fun is that? My son is in a medieval group. He's a sword fighter in a medieval group, and they had a market, which was so fun. And so I was specifically looking for some things to put on my tarot table because, in my videos, I've got like candle and I try to make it like seasonal and themes. And so I found an artist. I don't know if we're going to be able. There we go. We can kind of see the colors. My ring light is aggressive. There we go. How pretty is that? It's a little Christmas tree. And she also had little acorns. And she's painted them all. I mean, how cute is this? Little mushrooms. These are the trippy mushrooms that we always see at Christmas time. The trippy ones. And then how cute are these? Oh my gosh. So those are going to appear on my tarot table when I get it set up with my Christmas theme. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe I'll pull a card for the first person to spot them. How about that? You make a comment. The first person to comment that you've spotted the new things that I bought for my table will get a card pulled for them. And I'll send you a private little note with your message. And then look at these. How cute are these? They're little crystal angels. How sweet is that? So I picked up a couple of those. She wrote them down for me. Sodalite, blue sodalite. So there we go. How sweet is that? And this one, I have never heard of this stone. Zoisite or zoisite. I don't know how to say it, but I thought at first it might be a bloodstone, but it's ruby in zoisite. How sweet is that? So anyway, two little angels came home with me. I got some Christmas presents for my son too, because he's into all of that stuff. And then I picked up this super cute keychain. I don't see, it's like dragon scales. How cute is that? And it's a scrunchie, so I don't lose my keys in stores, which is why I like keychains like this. So I wear my keys basically. Yeah, the market was so cool. I did a couple videos, so I'll send you a video so you can see like kind of what it looked like. It's there was people doing leather work. There was a guy there who does 3D printing, but it's all like medieval themed. There's guys who make swords, costumes, crystal people. There were some food vendors. It was really neat. It was nice. And because my son is within this group, and I've actually participated in some stuff with them as well. He's the guy who runs the company. He's hired me to go to a corporate event. It was last year, and they had a big corporate event. We had a medieval theme. This huge corporation hired this group of people to go in their costumes and be like medieval knights and stuff like that at their I don't know, worker appreciation dinner and awards night and stuff like that. And so he hired me to go and read tarot for everybody. So I set myself up and people would come and get their tarot cards. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I will, this is this Magic Bean Creations. And that's where I got all the little tiny pieces from for my table. And I'll make sure that her email is there when they go on my table. I'll maybe get it set up for Christmas this weekend. There we go. Not sure I can join the Yule celebration unless I take that. Yeah, it's tough because I can't, you know what I mean? Like even 7:00 might be, like, cause I think are you 2 hours behind me? I can't remember. I think you're 2 hours behind me. So if you, yeah, even just maybe come home a little bit early, but it will be like a long event. It's not going to be a 45-minute thing. It'll be more closer to 2 hours than it's, you know what I mean? So even if you jump in late when you get home, you could still get the benefit of everything. And the gifts that will be given out, we'll do that at the end. So anybody who was late, you're not going to miss it. You will still get the gifts at the end. So because there are gifts that will be given to everybody. So yeah, sodalite is a beautiful stone, and I love blue, so a lot of my crystals are blue. But take it off. Oh, Lola's gonna get you a sick note, Barbie. Lola's gonna write you a sick note to your boss and let them know you need to work at home that day. Zoisite's energy produces growth and fertility in all aspects of life. Yes, I love that. Thank you, Maria. It helps you rebirth and have a better understanding of yourself and your connection to the outside world. What a beautiful, beautiful stone. And this is it here. And this one has ruby in it. There we go. How sweet is that? You know what's interesting? I've been looking for little crystal angels for a while, and then I just happened to see them. It was a bowl of just a whole bunch of random crystals. And I started looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's angels here. And I had been looking for angels for a couple years. So There we go. There we have it. Thank you for that information, Maria. I know I love when people Google and like drop it into the comments, and that way. Although Maria's she's a real crystal collector. I've seen the collection, and it looks like a museum. Mine, they're just all in a bowl that I wash them all off and put them out in the moonlight, depending on the moon. We don't want to put them out under chaotic moons. We want nice stable moon energy for them. So is there anything else anybody would like me to babble on about today? Because I'll do it. I'm a chatterbox. I am a chatterbox. And I will definitely. My emails are going like crazy here, but it's all just, there we go. Nothing crazy, nothing interesting. There we go. And who all is here? All right. If you've been thinking about joining my Celestine group, you're too late. I know I always say you're always right on time, unless you're just going to read chapter 9 and jump in next week. Next week is our final week, but I do have something else kind of in the works for the new year. I'm going to try to come up with an idea that's like a group thing that we can all do together. So I need to think about what that will be. I don't know yet. It'll obviously be spiritual. It'll have maybe I'll run the Art of Abundance. I haven't done that one in a while. I haven't done that program in a while, the Art of Abundance. And it's a multi-week coaching program on calling in your abundance and attracting your abundance. Maybe I'll do that in the new year. Yeah, it's a 1 year. Let's start with a clean slate. Call in that abundance, fresh energy. Maybe we'll do that. I'll think on it. Okay, everybody. It is 10 after 5 here for me. It's dark outside now. Fun fact. Welcome to Canada in November. By Christmas time, by Yule, it will be dark at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and I'm hungry and thirsty, and all my family is home now. So I'm gonna go hang out with them, have a bite to eat. I thank you all for joining me today. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me babble about everything, and all the stuff going on in my world and all the thoughts I've had over the last couple of weeks. And I will see you next week, the 25th of November. And we'll do it all again. We'll maybe do some sprints next time. So bring some stuff to do. Bring your coloring, bring your knitting, bring your laundry to be folded, whatever it is. I know somebody was like cleaning their house while I was doing sprints and playing music. And I do have plans to have some Christmas themed music subliminals coming out very soon. I just did my lucky guy, lucky girl one. But I do have some Christmas stuff coming up. So it'll be all themed to the holidays starting in the next couple weeks, right through to the new year. And yeah, there we have it. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing evening. If it is evening now where you are, if it is morning, as it might be in places like Australia and New Zealand, good morning. Oh, I don't want to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. But yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for joining me here. If you are a replay crew, please let me know. And if you want the link to my VIP list, it might be in the description. I'll have to check. But it will be, you can always just comment on anything, any of my posts, any of my videos, anything like that, and just say, can I get the link to your VIP list? And I'll drop it for you. Okay, there we go. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I had a great time with you guys today, and we will see you in a week. Take care. Bye.